this week's episode of Blockade Battlefront, Zapp Renfro's life of debauchery finally catches up with him in this week's action-packed, ridiculous, over-the-top, incomprehensibly crazy episode, which left me speechless. I'm not even joking. After watching this week's episode, my mind was a complete blank. I didn't even know what to make of this one. It was so insane. And just describing it is going to be impossible. This is one of those episodes you really are just going to have to see for yourself. What I will say is, this week's episode might have been one of the better episodes of the series for a number of reasons. First, the black and white story. I love it. I especially love the fact that it bookends every single episode. It never intrudes, it's always fresh, and little by little, we start to learn about their backstory, how their parents all died in this big, massive explosion, and somehow Black was inhabited by this weird, demon, ghostly, ethereal energy, which now causes him to have a split personality. The other half of his mind is when he slicks back his hair, Eisen style. But the real star of this week's episode, and possibly of the entire series, is Zapp Renfro. He's not just there for laughs, he's actually got some competent skills. He's just kind of rough around the edges. I especially love how they show what a typical day in the life of Zapp Renfro is. It's always pretty much the same. He wakes up with a different woman, he usually tries to go and gamble, loses his money, gets the money back, continues to gamble, gets shit-faced, wakes up with another woman. Basically, his entire life consists of getting wasted and gambling. However, his life of taking it easy is over, because apparently going down in Hell Salem's Lot is another crazy incident where this crazy old Big Dipper blood-style master by the name of Raju Juge Shizuyoshi is fighting against this one blood breed. This is where things start to get kind of insane, because we have these two weird, freaky monster things fighting against each other. It's really well animated. You don't know what's going on, but you know what you're looking at is freaking awesome. The actual master himself, Master Juge, is really awesome. He's this old guy who you never actually see, and he's wearing this cloak and this like weird warthog skull over his head, and he has a staff. And you never understand what he's saying. He usually has to have a translator for him. He actually takes control of Zapp's body to translate for him. But there is one scene where he speaks in English, and he happens to be the same voice actor as Hiruzen Sarutobi, the third Hokage from Naruto, as well as King Bradley from Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and probably hundreds more. All I know is that's very fitting because this guy is the master of the style that is used by Libra. The blood breed they're fighting against, I don't even know how to describe this guy. He just looks like he's made out of blood, and he has this amazing looking sword, which is like a half crescent moon covered with blades, and they just completely destroy him and freeze him thanks to the abilities of Stephen A. Starface, and then of course you have Master Juge, who just comes in and transforms him into this weird looking egg thing, which totally looks like a Crimson Behelit from Berserk. Master Juge decides he's going to have Zapp Renfro actually be his apprentice, and he's going to try and have him try to seal and destroy this weird blood breed egg, and he actually seals him in this dome made of blood. Zapp tries to attack this thing, but it can actually attack with like all these tentacles and this like weird sharp mouth, and he like barely dodges it for the first time, and that's when he starts to back up and tries to rethink what he's actually doing, and he starts to think, oh crap, I'm probably going to die right here. And that's when suddenly Shane gets this phone call from apparently one of Zapp's girlfriends who wants to meet up with him and jump his bones, and this scene is hilarious because it's Zapp Renfro's libido that actually ends up saving the day. When he realizes that he's about to miss out on this call, he just kills this thing instantly with one of his abilities. It's awesome, it's hilarious, and it just makes no freaking sense whatsoever, but it's just a ridiculous and funny show. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Blockade Battlefront? I'm still, like, trying to figure out this week's episode. It was just so insane. The introduction of this random character by the name of Master Juge, who just has a really crazy design. I don't even know what to make of this guy. I don't know how much more we're going to see of him. Maybe he's going to teach some secret techniques to them. I'm sure he's going to meet Leonard, you know, that's got to be an interesting interaction, because this guy's like the master. He like knows all, so he'll probably know something about Leonard's abilities. Maybe this will tie into the whole black and white story. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But all the action in this week's episode was pretty freaking on point, especially the actual battle between the Bloodbreed and Master Juge. That looked looked good. The humor in this week's episode was just amazing, too. Zapp Renfro is an amazing character as far as, like, funny anime characters go. Probably one of the funniest I've seen in quite some time, and genuinely funny. Like, it's not forced. He's just a really well-written character, and just seeing how his days kept going and, like, sort of recycling, that was really funny. Not to mention the phone call from Angelica. That was just side-splitting funny. On the technical side of things, this week's episode looked really freaking good. Just like the rest of the series, the art style, the character designs, especially just the characters in the background, everything looks really good. Even just the city itself, you know, they can do so much by twisting New York and turning it into this, like, weird, demon-like dystopian future. I really, really dig that. Not to mention the action scenes are expertly done and just look really amazing. The show just has a ton of style, it just bleeds it. I really wish it could go on for a little bit longer. I'm definitely going to have to check out the manga version when the anime is done because I'm really digging this one and I can't wait to see where it is going. I really hope its conclusion is going to work, and if it isn't actually over and they lead into something like another season, I say bring it on because I think the show has a lot of potential and you should definitely be checking it out. So I'm going to give this week's episode right here a 5 out of 5. I just loved everything about it. It was a really fun episode. There were just so many different things going on, so much to look for, tons of funny moments, lots of action, tons of new characters, mystery and intrigue with Black and White. Just an awesome show right here. Love it. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I like the opening, but the ending of this series is amazing. I could watch it day after day. So, great episode right here. I loved it. Check it out, guys. So, I like this episode a lot, but what about you? Did you watch this week's episode of Blockade Battlefront? Please tell me what you thought about it in the comment section below. Did you like that it was centered around Zapp Renfro? What did you think of Master Juge? And what do you want to see from the rest of Blockade Battlefront? Please tell me in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching my review. Make sure to like it, share it with all your friends, and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow us on social media. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby.